love this song. And Samantha Jade is an absolute superstar. She won the X Factor Australia. And this song, What You've Done to Me, debuted at #1 on the ARIA charts with good reason. It's a great dance track. She knows a thing or two about writing a pop hit. And now you and we can get involved in writing Samantha's next song. We can help her do it. Can you believe it? I don't know if she'd want my help, frankly, because she's so good on her own, but it's part of her work with Priceline's Sisterhood Foundation, and I'm so pleased that Samantha Jade is on the line for us now. Oh, Samantha Jade, I love that song of yours. It is such a great dance track.
Oh, thank you. I know it's a really feel-good song. I can't believe, like, it's 9 years old now, but people still really love that song.
Oh, look, it is. It gets you going and it gets people dancing every time they hear it, which is just phenomenal.
Yes.
Now, I want to talk about this project in just a moment because it is brilliant, the Sisterhood Foundation, what you're doing with it. But how have you been going over the last 18 months with the pandemic, with lockdown? How's that impacted you?
Oh, I mean, it's been tough, like it has been on everybody. It's a new normal that we're all trying to adjust to. But I think, especially for the music industry, I mean, we just lost our jobs basically. Like I've lost so many of my my gigs, and aside from just the financial side of it, it's what I love to do. So I just miss performing it. There's something that it does for my soul that I really, really miss. Yeah,
well, we know how much joy you get from it, but it's the audience who gets more of it, I can tell you, watching you do what you do so well. So, yeah, hopefully we'll get back to that live show sooner rather than later. But one thing that you can do is obviously spend more time with your writing, and I know you've been trying to write new music.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I actually have kind of, I think, bettered myself in is writing. I think that I was always kind of like, on these crazy schedules where you can be in the studio for 2 days and then you're off to perform or you're off to do something else. And we haven't been able to do the performance side of things. So I've really locked myself, in studios when I was able to go to studios and even just at home, with my keyboard and just like, singing and writing all the time, which has been great.
Yeah, and that is the good thing, that you can at least, find that silver lining. And it comes full circle, that writing now, with this Priceline Sisterhood Foundation. Tell us a bit about it.
I'm so excited about this. I love Priceline. I mean, I feel like what person doesn't? You go in for one thing and come out with 20 things. It's one of those places that I feel is a community, and every time you even bring out your little club card, your Sisterhood club card, you feel part of something, which I think is really nice. And they came to me. I'd done a makeup line with them a few years ago, and they came to me this time and said, it's 10 years of the Priceline Sisterhood Foundation, and we want to do kind of a new initiative and raising money for the charities. And they thought, what a great idea to do it through music. And for me, music's the way I know how to share my emotions, and I just think it's such a great project. So basically I'm asking Australia to help me write a song about the sisterhood.
And the Sisterhood, as you say, it was formed in 2011 with the sole purpose of giving back to the community. And I know you personally have had to battle with your mother passing and with the fact that community is so important when you've got the tough times, isn't it?
Yeah, well, one of the charities that Priceline supports is Motherless Daughters, and I've found that it's a really helpful charity for me because, once you do lose that rock in your life, you do have to turn to a community that understands that. So that's been really helpful for me firsthand.
Yeah, and that charity, it's great that you do good work with them, because I think particularly with those days when Mother's Day comes around and for people who've lost a mum, it's a very, very difficult time.
Yeah. It's something that I think it's been 6 years now, but it's something that it feels like yesterday, and it also feels like it's so long since I've seen her. It's the hardest thing to continue to push through, but things like Motherless Daughters and talking about it with people who have also lost their mums, it just makes, I think for me, it just makes you feel like you belong to something, which is really nice.
And you helped care for your mum, didn't you, when she was battling breast cancer?
Yeah, well, she went in with cancer in the January, and then she passed away in June, and I'm from Perth. So, I basically put everything on hold and flew home, and my whole family, it wasn't just me, my brothers, my dad, we just kind of were in the hospital for 6 months.
Yeah. It's so difficult, and you can imagine families who can't be with their loved ones at the moment with lockdown,
Oh,
how
my
difficult
gosh.
that must be.
I can't imagine. My heart goes out to them. I truly think about that every day and pray for those people.
Absolutely. Now, I saw at the end of the last year you shared this book of notes that were written by your late mum, which I guess goes to show that everything can have meaning and it can really be important to treasure those memories.
Oh, absolutely. And I was so lucky. My brother's partner, she actually, when we were packing up some of my mum's things last year, a box that we kind of just didn't want to do, and then we were like, let's just tackle it. We found all these little notes that she had written. She was very much for positive affirmations, and she was like, we used to call her an information junkie because she'd read something and she'd write what she'd learnt down. And Jess, my brother's partner, put all of those things in a book for me. So when I'm feeling low or when I'm missing her, I really go to it and I take those little pearls of wisdom that she instilled in us. It's really nice to have.
That's so wonderful to have. You would treasure that, absolutely. So are you really, really asking for us to help you write music? Are you sure?
I'm sure. I've thought about it. I'm sure. I think it's really cool. Like, who's written a song with Australia? You know, it's a really cool initiative. And I think what it is, you know, I can take things from stories or quotes or even if it's just words, and I can add them to the song. And it's actually so helpful for me because sometimes you get stuck, you get writer's block. So this will be really nice. And then when it's written and when, you know, everybody hears it, I will love to see everybody, you know, singing along with it. I think that's the purpose for me, is to make it really anthemic.
So we can just send you ideas. You don't want lyrics necessarily or half-written songs. You just want anything, any inspiration.
Any inspiration that I can draw from, and you guys can actually go in. I mean, obviously not here in New South Wales, but you can go into store and leave your quotes and ideas, or just social media that you can send it to.
You're a brave woman taking this on board. You're going to get so, I mean, you'll have to filter it obviously, but as you say, can, you know, the fact that everyone can be involved in that song is a really creative way of going about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. And also I've been reading some of the things that have been coming through. And what I love is I think that we all think we're really different with what we're, you know, insecure about or scared of or, you know, have problems with, and we're not. That's the thing that I've learnt the most from everybody's stories and ideas and quotes.
So what are they sending you so far? What have you had?
Well, I've had some quotes, I really loved this quote this girl sent in, that we should fix each other's crowns. Like, women should fix each other's crowns instead of steal them from each other. I really liked that.
That's great.
I liked that. We've had some stories about how people have pulled through some difficult times in their lives and what things helped them, what words helped them. So I'm just kind of like reading things, and then I've got a notepad and I just kind of put different words down and sentences, and and then I'm going to have to go through those all of those words and then write a song.
And have you got a deadline? When's the time that we'll actually hear it?
Well, I think I need to start writing it pretty soon. I've had some melody idea. I start with melodies, and so I've got some melodies, and then the hardest part is actually putting the lyrics to that melody. So that's the next challenge.
Well, I think you should listen up when I read out these emails, and I'll do it after the break, from people who have finally caught the one that got away. Because
I was hearing you say that. That's so cute.
Well, listen up, because I've got two really beautiful stories, and maybe you can draw on their inspiration for your next song.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, well done. Well, Samantha, it's so good to talk to you, and I'm a real fan of your music and of your acting too, because I thought you were phenomenal when you played Kylie in the Channel 7 miniseries, and it was just brilliant. You're uncannily sound like, look like, and, you know, you've got talent like our Kylie as well, so you're terrific.
Oh, thank you so much. Nice to talk to you.
Yes, she is. Samantha Jade, and you can find out more about the charity and how to share your lyrics at Priceline Sisterhood Foundation.com.au.